Wanted for killing 2 corrections officers. We'll have a description of the car police say they're believed to be traveling in. That's ahead. And panic on the field after a gunman opens fire, seriously hurting a congressman at baseball practice. What we're learning now about his condition. Plus, Russian President Vladimir Putin lashes out at the U.S. Senate. What he's saying about the decision to toughen sanctions in Moscow. Plus, we're heating things up in the Good Day Kitchen this morning with chef and cookbook author Robin Stone. We'll show you how you can add a little twist to some Southern favorites. But first, $115,000. That's the amount that's now being offered for information leading to the capture of 2 escaped inmates and alleged killers. Ricky DeBose and Donnie Rowe are still on the run this morning. And Good Day Atlanta's Mark Teichner is live in Morgan County with the latest on the search. Mark.
Well, good morning, and as that reward continues to grow, also getting new information about the possible vehicle these 2 could be in. It is described as a white Ford F-250 pickup. It's got Georgia tags BCX5372.
They've just murdered 2 corrections officers in a brutal fashion. They're not concerned with anything regarding human life.
Escaped inmates and accused killers Ricky DeBose and Donnie Rowe are still on the run, possibly driving this 2008 white Ford F-250 pickup. Authorities think the pair stole the truck late Tuesday night or early Wednesday morning from the Morgan County rock quarry in Madison.
This truck was used on that site. It wasn't even used off the roadway. The business closed at 6 o'clock, and it opened up again this morning at 6 a.m. And one of the first things they discovered, the truck was gone.
Brenda Boswell lives just down the street from the quarry.
I was very scared, and I was telling the kids, lock every doors and window it is.
Investigators have found the green Honda. They say the inmates carjacked after killing correction officers Sergeant Christopher Monica and Sergeant Curtis Ballou. Was found down an embankment behind the Madison Rite Aid, about a mile away from the home they allegedly broke into, ransacked, stealing clothes and food.
You couldn't see because it was so thick. Trees and undergrowth.
We've also learned that the inmates knew each other well before the deadly escape took place.
They had been cellmates before inside our facility, so they had known each other quite a while.
Funeral arrangements have been released for both of those corrections officers. Let's tell you about it. Sergeant Ballou will be laid to rest on Saturday at 11 o'clock. That will take place at the Wilkinson County High School in McIntyre, Georgia. And then on Tuesday at 2 o'clock, Sergeant Monica's funeral will take place. That'll be at the First United Methodist Church in Milledgeville. And obviously, folks are going to have heavy hearts throughout all of those 2 things as they take place. Meanwhile, the folks here at the command post are really hoping they're going to be able to give out that money because they're hoping some folks will come forward with information. If you do see either of these guys or you recognize that vehicle, do not approach them. We say it all the time. Call 911 right away. Reporting live from Morgan County, I'm Mark Teichner for Good Day Atlanta. Leads back to you.
Now, wanting them off the streets very soon. Mark, thank you. You can depend on us for complete coverage of this developing story. For updates anytime, just use the Fox 5 News app. It's a free download for Android and Apple products. You can also keep up with us on Facebook, Twitter, and our website, fox5atlanta.com. Let's get you caught up on other top stories this morning. Caitlin Pratt joins us with that. Caitlin, good morning.
Good Thursday morning to you, Elise. A huge crowd expected to attend today's congressional charity baseball game after a shooting yesterday that critically wounded House GOP whip Steve Scalise and 4 other people. We're learning more about the gunman, 66-year-old James T. Hodgkinson. Police have been examining social media posts that show anger towards Republicans, and he was a known political activist. One congressman says he ran into Hodgkinson just before that attack.
Asked me if this team was the Republican or Democrat team practicing. I responded that it was a Republican team practicing.
We are strongest when we are unified and when we work together for the common good.
President Donald Trump and the First Lady visiting the Washington hospital last night where Scalise and one of the officers is being treated. And we're learning new details about the UPS driver who went on a deadly workplace shooting rampage. Authorities say the gunman, 38-year-old Jimmy Lamb, filed a grievance with the company for working excessive overtime back in March. Lamb reportedly requested that the company relieve him of working extra hours. Police say Lamb gunned down 3 co-workers before turning the gun on himself yesterday morning. 2 other employees were also hurt, have since been released from the hospital. This morning, London residents are demanding to know what sparked a massive fire through a high-rise apartment that's killed at least 17. The 24-story building went up in flames Tuesday night. About 600 people were in the tower when that fire broke out. Many who were trapped on the upper floors are still missing. Authorities say it's still too early to predict what exactly caused that fire. Russian President Vladimir Putin says that the U.S. Senate's move to tighten sanctions against Moscow is in an effort to contain Russia. The Republican-led Senate voting Wednesday to punish Moscow for interfering in the 2016 election by targeting individuals who carried out cyber attacks. Putin compared former FBI Director James Comey's testimony to that of NSA contractor Edward Snowden, adding on a sarcastic note that Russia could grant Comey political asylum. Jury deliberations continuing in the Bill Cosby sex assault trial today. The comedian was seen leaving the Pennsylvania courtroom after the jury was unable to reach a verdict. Cosby is facing 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault. His accuser, Andrea Constand, says the comic drugged and sexually assaulted her at his home in 2004. Each charge carries a sentence of up to 10 years. And those are some of the stories we're tracking this morning. Elise, back to you.
Caitlin, thanks. We'll check back in with you with more in just a little bit. Storm swept across parts of the Midwest and strong wind gusts hit the Minneapolis area last night. Winds reaching over 50 miles an hour, doing some damage there. This was the same storm that produced possible tornadoes in the western part of the state on Tuesday night. So I guess we can count our blessings here while we complain about some rains, thunderstorms, and some humidity, right, Joanne?
I think a couple days ago I officially got my first viewer comment of October's only however many days away. Already. I mean, I get it. The heat and humidity is not really breaking anytime soon.
It's not even summer yet.
Yeah.
It's not summer yet officially.
Technically, it is not.
Wow.
So let's take a look at the days leading up to the official start of summer next week. Here is a look at the drought conditions just updated from the last week. And believe it or not, despite big downpours, they were scattered enough in nature that they seem to have done nothing for the drought that remains over northeast Georgia. So the only improvements that have happened over the last week are in the southeast corner of the state. That leaves us here in North Georgia in the same situation we've been in, where there is this category of moderate drought across portions of Lumpkin and White counties, and then South Metro moving into Middle Georgia. Still needs some rainfall to make up some ground there, but most of Metro Atlanta and all of Northwest Georgia drought free. And we still have the daily chances of rain in our forecast, which should make for some continued improvements going into next week. This is a look at yesterday's storms, and really what we've seen for the last couple of days is nothing to steer these storms along very quickly in any one direction. They've had a tendency to pop up and just sit in one spot for a while, and the result has been really high rainfall totals in a few locations. Yesterday, over 2.5 inches for some of you. Meanwhile, a few miles down the road, maybe no rain at all, just kind of hearing the thunder in the distance. And that's something that can happen this afternoon also. But right now, we're just in the process of warming up. We're already at 80 degrees in LaGrange, upper 70s in Atlanta, 81 in Griffin, and you started out just a little bit cooler in the North Georgia mountains, but even there we're seeing temperatures now in the 70s. So the timeline on our storms, pretty typical for summer, somewhere between noon and 1 o'clock. They pop up. Look at how many areas are likely to stay dry, though, compared to getting the storms today. But pay attention, because storms can produce severe level wind gusts and bring hail. So have a way to get warnings if you're out and about. Your Fox 5 Storm Team app will not only tell you if there's a severe thunderstorm warning, but will also give you an alert on how far away lightning is from your location, even if the storm isn't severe. And that will be very useful today. High temperatures in between all these storms. We're going to rise into the upper 80s. And what you'll see here going through Wednesday of next week is on any given day, the temperatures are only fluctuating by a degree or two. We're looking at highs 87 to 89 every single afternoon. But Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, if you don't get one of these storms over the next couple of days, you're more likely to get them those days because the rain will be more widespread. Elise?
All right, Joanne, thank you. It's 9:08 now, and coming up on Good Day Atlanta, she's the chef behind the popular blog At a Pinch. This morning, Robin Stone is here to show us how to make Southern recipe with a twist. Plus, hot flashes are a common and frustrating part of menopause for many women. So what helps turn down the heat? The Fox Medical Team's Beth Galvin will join us with some answers ahead.
Good Day Atlanta